5 years ago today, I sat down in the midst of a global pandemic and began streaming for the very first time, having no idea what it would turn into. I had no idea that 5 years later, we'd be still here, where we are now. But I wouldn't trade my time with the channel for the world. Now, it hasn't seemed like 5 years to me, and there's a couple reasons for that. The first, and perhaps most important, is because of all of you making this experience enjoyable, making it worth continuing for so long, even when things got hard. So I want to start this video off by saying thank you for your support, whether you've been here for years or you've been here for a week. You being here means so much more to me than you could possibly know. The other reason why this time has gone so fast is because of how much has happened, which is one of the reasons I wanted to make this video, was to talk about the history of this channel and how we got here. Now, I understand that that side of things isn't going to be super interesting to some of you. So, uh, for your sake, if you aren't interested in learning about the channel's history and you want to get to the announcements that this video is going to have, you can find a timestamp for that right here. But if you're still here, along for the ride, I appreciate you. And let's get started. This channel originally started as a way for me to spend time with my friends during the pandemic and give me a way to play video games that I could at least lie to myself about being productive. But over time, it became a lot more than that. And I think that's seen in a lot of the big changes that have happened on the channel, such as the ARG that happened starting with the 3-year anniversary. Now, I could make a whole video on everything wrong with the ARG because there was a lot wrong with it. It was convoluted, it wasn't easy to follow, but that ARG was the first attempt at me revealing more of myself to the community, and my channel being more me. That ARG told the story of a normal guy who had stuff happen, some supernatural stuff happen, and it left him different. It left him fragmented into multiple pieces. And that story was always meant to me sharing my own, which eventually I did anyway, despite the ARG not being solved. And the Let's Talk video that was posted within this past year. In that video, I did something that I never thought I would do, which is face reveal. For the very first time, the Last Shot brand had a face. And now we're here doing videos like this and streaming with a face cam consistently. And I can't imagine what it would be like to go back. It's become almost second nature to me to have my face showing and have that be such an important part of my content that I can't even believe that I did it for so long before face revealing. Also, part of the ARG was the rebrand, switching from the original name of the channel, which was Last Shot, to what is now Kodex, as you know it now. And the reason for that is explained in the Let's Talk video, but long story short, it's the name that I think best represents what I want to do, the voice that I want to have, and the impact that I want to make, making sure that all people, regardless of mental state, regardless of identity, are comfortable being here and being a part of this community. Because since the beginning, that is one thing that has been constant. I've always wanted to be able to make people happy, and I've always wanted to make people feel safe and welcome. And I felt that by making myself vulnerable and sharing that personal stuff with the community, I was making it easier for you guys to be comfortable doing the same. And then we go beyond the ARG and the face reveal and the rebrand, and we see the subathon, which, fun fact, the subathon that I did earlier this year is not actually the first subathon that we've done, but it is by far the most successful that we've done. I expected it to go for maybe a day, probably less than that, and instead I think it ended up going for 5 or 6 days, which even now is still boggles my mind. Huge shout out to Minecrafting and Ikea for really keeping that thing going. But that subathon was really the first time that I realized what we had here, what the community that we've built is really all about, which is support, enthusiasm, and just being there for one another. Streaming for that long, constantly, was really difficult for me, especially because I'd never done anything like that before. But seeing different members of the community take over the stream for a little bit, or be willing to be involved in different segments of the stream, really stood out to me as a representation of what I've been able to accomplish, what we've been able to accomplish with this community. A place where you don't have to be alone. You don't have to do things by yourself. If you need help, there are people there. And I think in that way, this community has far exceeded any hope that I could have possibly had when starting this channel 5 years ago. Now, all that being said, this channel has seen its fair share of rough spots as well, which I've tried to make it so that it's not super obvious for the viewers, for all of you, that you're still enjoying yourself as long as you're here. But on the personal end of things, on my end of things, things weren't always easy. With the stress of high school and getting a job and going to college, and also just personal stuff that has not always gone great for me, there were a lot of times that I felt like quitting. There were a lot of times that I said, I can't do this anymore. It's too much. I'm not getting any results. I don't want to do this. Every time that happened, I would say to myself, okay, I'm going to make this change, and if by this time we don't hit this milestone or this thing doesn't happen, then I'm done. That's it. I'm quitting. The thing is, every time I would do that, I think I would accidentally change my content in a way that made it more enjoyable for me to produce, because I was making it more of what I actually wanted to do and less of what I thought people wanted to see from me. That mindset of slowly changing the content to be more focused around actually representing me and putting my personality into what I did is one of the reasons that I am still here, even though it has been really hard sometimes. And the other big reason that I'm still here is because of all of you. Every time that I made one of those goals, every time that I made one of those changes, you guys were extremely supportive and receptive, and even if we didn't hit the milestone that I had planned, you guys showed me enough support to help me realize that what I'm doing does matter. It's still important, even if it's not viral or blowing up like I've originally wanted it to. Instead, I have a community where I can actually help people and I can make people feel better by tuning into what I'm doing. And I think that is just the coolest thing and worth so much more than any number that could be associated with this channel. And so that brings us here to the present day. 5 years in the making. So, fast forward to today, and we have the Codex channel going stronger than it's ever gone. Consistent content that I'm honestly pretty proud of, and a community that is always there and always ready to try something new. We have people who are consistently making content with, like Gaming Guy and Draco, when we have IRL meetups happening with someone like Smartian. It's crazy to me that I started this with a couple of my friends from high school, and now we have this community where I think we're all kind of friends in a way. And we all bring something different, and that's really special. That being said, there are a few major changes coming to the channel that I think are worth talking about here. The first of which regards how content is going to be output going forward. For a few months now, I've been somewhat consistently streaming on both Twitch and YouTube. However, with the conclusion of the All the Mods series with Draco, I've decided to stop streaming on YouTube, at least for the time being. And there's a few reasons why I'm doing this. One, it just feels like these days my community is more centered around Twitch anyway, so it makes more sense to focus more time and energy there as opposed to focusing it on YouTube, where the community isn't as engaged right now, which is perfectly fine. The other reason is, as some of you may know, I've been doing daily shorts recently, which you can find over on the second channel, link in the description down below, selfless plug. And I've gotten a lot better at editing, and I've started to enjoy it more, which is why, yes, we might be stopping streaming, however, we're going to start doing videos here on the channel instead. Taking Twitch streams, again, still mostly Minecraft, and making them into videos that we publish here. That will also bring videos to the second channel as well. Again, check that out. So, a lot of stuff to look forward to. But there's also another channel that nobody has ever known about until now. Introducing KDX Studio, my music channel. This channel is going to be for me posting covers, maybe original music at some point, but I'm not there yet. But mostly covers of songs that I like, and just putting them out there. Some of you may know this, but singing and performing has always been a passion of mine, and I've been looking for new ways to bring that into my life, and I think this is the next step for me, and I think that I am okay enough at singing and performing to make that content worth checking out. So if that's something that interests you, that link will also be in the description down below. Something else to look forward to is, as I've mentioned in the past, when I move into a place of my own again, whether that be a house or an apartment, what have you, I plan to do another subathon, which originally was just going to be to celebrate moving, but now I think it's going to be to celebrate the same milestone that this video is for, 5 years of streaming. That subathon is likely going to be happening within the next month and a half, because with me getting the job that I have now, I think I can afford to move soon, which means we can have the subathon soon. So, I don't have the exact date for that yet, but if you want to stay posted on the details for that, make sure to check out the Discord in the description down below, because I will be sharing more about that there. Which brings us to the end of this video. I think I've talked about everything that I've wanted to at this point, and so I just want to end off in the same way that I started, by saying thank you. Truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Each and every one of you have made a difference in my life and in this community, and this channel would not be what it is without all of you. It's become so much more than just a guy wanting to play video games and finding a way to be productive at the same time. And it's become a part of who I am. It's an essential part of my being at this point. And that's because of the support, the love, the care that you have all shown me over the years. And without all of you, I don't think I'd still be here making this content. So, truly, thank you for everything. It's been an excellent 5 years, and I look forward to and even more amazing 5 years to follow. So, as always, thank you so much for tuning in, and until the next one, peace out.